Welcome, ladies and gents. Obviously, Robert Downey Jr. was cast as Victor Von Doom, Doctor Doom, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There is a rumour floating around, though, that actually that's a diversion tactic. I don't know how true that is. It'll be really interesting to see what happens moving forwards. But I thought we'd take a look and see what the rumour is and sort of discuss the sort of likelihood of that being the case or otherwise. Now, it comes from a relatively good source. You know, I like the source, friend of the channel, WDW Pro. I'll be surprised if this is true, though, in terms of... surprised in terms of the payments going out. Let's put it that way. So the rumour is that actually there is another Victor Von Doom, which I think will be the case. Not overly sure whether it will be in the exact same movie in terms of how this rumour is laid out, though. So let's take a look. Hit subscribe if you're new here. And let's take a look at this. So the rumour is that a Lord of the Rings veteran will play the prime Doctor Doom in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I believe that he's not... Robert Downey Jr. is not going to stay in the role. You know, he's being paid considerably more, was the quote, considerably more than $80 million, so more than $80 million, to appear in the MCU again. But that's just for 2 films. They can't afford Robert Downey Jr. for anything longer than that. They just can't. There's no way in hell that they can. It's too much money. They've also got to pay the Russo brothers, both of them, so between each, $80 million for those 2 films. $20 million a movie. That's crazy. So they can't afford Robert Downey Jr. So I believe that he won't be the Victor Von Doom. But it says this. During the WDW Pro's Pro Show, Scoop at WDW Pro revealed that Viggo Mortensen will apparently play Doctor Doom alongside Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU. Now that's the part that I'm not quite on board with, alongside. So what, in the same movie? Because I don't know if Marvel can afford that. Viggo Mortensen's not cheap. And we know how expensive Robert Downey Jr. is. The rumour comes in the wake of Marvel Studios announcing that Robert Downey Jr. would return. So we know that anyway. So following the announcement, Pro detailed in a video that it was a diversion. He said at the time, "I don't like to spoil films, and to tell you exactly what I have heard is happening here would spoil 2 films at least." Don't think there's much really to spoil, to be honest, but alright. So here's what I'll say. If you wanted to have RDJ come back for the Avengers, and if you wanted what he's really going to do to be a surprise, then you would need a diversion. You would need a misdirection, something like having him come out as Doctor Doom and announcing that he's playing Doctor Doom at SDCC. You might then be able to have him film, and I'm sure he will play Doctor Doom. I'm just saying to all of you out there, without getting into the specificities, because again, I do not want to ruin a movie for anyone, and that goes against the ethos of this channel. I'm happy ruining movies. I'm happy giving all the spoilers out, provided it's spoiler warning. I'm just recommending to you that there is more to this than meets the eye, and they are trying to save a huge applause for when you go into that cinema, when you go in and you see those movies. So if you needed to have RDJ do something fantastic, you need cover, because you cannot film the movie without him, without people knowing about it. He can't just be a cameo. That's not going to work. And if he's more than a cameo, everyone's going to know. And he needs to be on the red carpet. So you need a cover. That is all I'm going to say without going into any specifics of what's actually going to happen. And so then what he revealed was Viggo Mortensen will be playing Doctor Doom as well, apparently. So he shed some more light on Robert Downey Jr.'s role as Doctor Doom. Robert Downey Jr. is getting paid somewhere between $50 and $100 million to do this. Well, he's getting paid more than $50 million. I had that confirmed by Variety. He's getting paid considerably more than $80 million for the 2 movies. So, I mean, I just estimated $100 million for both movies, but it's probably even more than that, to be fair, which is just madness. Now, they say this, well, he said this anyway. WDW says, when he does this, he's almost certainly going to get close to $100 million. If you don't get paid $100 million to play the villain. Or you don't get, sorry. You don't get paid $100 million to play the villain. There is no way that this role is to simply come in and play Doctor Doom and that's it. Fans have expectation that he's coming back, and Kevin Feige with the multiverse has an expectation. So next he said, we're hearing that RDJ will be playing one Doctor Doom, that there are other Doctor Dooms in these stories. We're hearing that the person will play potentially the prime Doctor Doom is someone who might be familiar with many languages, an actor who is strong in many languages, including fantasy languages, and Robert Downey Jr. may play a Tony Stark who becomes the hero by his final film in the MCU, and the Doctor Doom Prime may be played by someone who the Russo brothers want so badly. And that's Viggo Mortensen, basically. We're hearing that contractual negotiations may be underway for Viggo Mortensen. Interestingly, Mortensen recently talked about the franchise films in an interview with Vanity Fair and was asked if he intentionally avoids them. He told the outlet, I don't really look for or avoid any kind of genre or any size budget. I just look for interesting stories. It doesn't matter to me what the genre is or what the budget is or who's making them. I would never do a movie just because so-and-so is directing. It has to be about the story, and if I think I'm right for the character, that always comes first. That goes for franchises. If somebody came to me with X movie, the 3rd part or the 9th part, and I thought it was a great character, and I wanted to play that character, and I thought I had something to contribute, I'd do that. I'm not against it. But they're not usually that good. I mean, to me, they're not usually that well written. They're kind of predictable. Yeah, but so with this then. So there you go. I mean, there's the rumour. So let me just kind of break it down again, I guess, bit by bit. What's the rumour? Robert Downey Jr. will be playing a Doctor Doom, but he'll also be playing Tony Stark, Iron Man as well. Or at least his Doctor Doom will become Iron Man and become good by the end of the movie. There is another Doctor Doom in the movie. And who's that Doctor Doom played by? Viggo Mortensen. There's multiple Dooms, probably why it's called Doomsday. So it's the Dooms. So multiple Dooms, Doomsday. This is a riff, I guess, in some regards, on Kang, the sort of Kang dynasty and things like that. The multiple Kangs. It's a way to wrap up the multiverse in some regard. I think it's really bad. I don't know whether I believe this. In the sense that they're going to bring Iron Man, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. back for good. I don't believe that one bit, actually. And the reason why I don't believe that is just simply the cost. They cannot afford him. It's way too much money. Like, it's way, way, way too much money. And this sort of fans have an expectation from coming back. I don't know if they do, really. I genuinely don't know if they do. So, yeah. So he becomes the hero by his final film in the MCU. So, these character arc, sort of evil arcs are good, I guess. The hero's journey. Maybe I can see them doing something like that. But I think this would be incredibly... I don't know, I just think the whole thing's lazy. But what do you guys think? I think Viggo Mortensen could do a good Doctor Doom. I prefer Mads Mikkelsen, quite frankly. I like Viggo, but prefer Mads Mikkelsen. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Cheers, take care, bye-bye now.